Hi, welcome. I'm Matt.
Maiden.
And I'm Cole. Boys, I have breaking news. Donald Trump is back on Twitter after Elon Musk put out a poll asking
Yeah,
if they want
he's back.
if they want Donald
Big
Trump
man's
back on
back.
Twitter. And 15 million votes. Donald Trump was voted in favor of coming back, and his account was reinstated.
That's the only election he's won to date.
We can't be saying that.
Let me just. I was being sarcastic when I
Okay, well,
when I celebrated Trump's glorious return back to Twitter.
yeah, and all of the Republicans are now like, our Lord and Savior is back. You know?
Yes, all the
Well, almost all the Republicans.
almost all of them.
Mike Pence.
Yeah. The same.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Yeah, I'm just recovering from a slight head cold.
Yeah. Ron DeSantis. Sorry, guys.
Paul Ryan. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
He's small.
You do realize that other people can tell you're saying other people's names.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I'm not saying anybody's name. I'm just having a little bit of a cough. DeSantis. My bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, he got the thing that DeSantis says isn't real.
So, what do you guys think about Elon Musk running Twitter so far?
Well, it'll be the new FTX here soon.
That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for.
What?
Their owner is on the run right now. He's on the run in like the Bahamas.
Yeah, true.
FTX. That's quite the story, honestly. I don't know if Matt's heard the story yet or not of FTX.
I've heard only a little bit. So
so basically the company, it's all about cryptocurrencies and supporting it. But the company went down under and declared bankruptcy. And it turns out there was fraudulence going on there. They never had a CFO or a CEO, one of those two. They didn't have one, like, at all.
And they're a cryptocurrency company.
And all the people who advertise the company are now being sued. All the people who invested money into the company are suing them. So, and now the owner's on the run. He's using corporate funds to buy houses in the Bahamas. So, don't be surprised if you see him on like TV here in the coming months. Like if there's like a TV show all about him. Because the dude's a smart dude. He went to MIT and graduated there. So, on the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again.
And running.
But back
Elizabeth
to Elon
Holmes.
Musk.
Did you hear about that? Elizabeth Holmes? Did you hear about that?
No. What about Elizabeth Holmes?
She founded Theranos, and we all know how that went, right? The whole Theranos scandal.
No, I've actually never heard of it. Why don't you explain
Really?
it to me? No.
But that was kind of a big thing. Okay, well, I'm kind of a bit lost on it too, so I'm gonna cheat. Yeah. So, yeah, so let's see. So back in 2018, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed civil fraud charges against Theranos, the CEO Elizabeth Holmes, and their former president. They said that they were engaging in an elaborate years-long fund. Um, you know, so Holmes and Balwani, the former president of the company, were indicted on June 15th of that same year on multiple counts of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Basically, if they're convicted, they face a max fine of 250,000 and maybe 20 years in prison. They went on with the trial, but then COVID pushed everything back. And then Elizabeth Holmes, had not one but two kids. She's actually pregnant with her second kid, I think. Um, the trial began in March 2022 for Balwani, and he was convicted of 12 counts of fraud in July of this year. Holmes was found guilty in January, and she was sentenced to, I believe, 11 and a half years just recently. And she's expected to surrender by April or May of 2023. I can't recall, but yeah, so that's basically what's going on.
Epic gamer moments.
Yeah.
That right there is what I call a gamer move.
But is it?
Like,
It's a fraudster move. That's what it
it's
is.
it's so gamer that I get convicted in November and surrender 5 months later. I don't have to go to jail for 5 months now. I get 5 months to say goodbye to my
Right?
family.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one.
um,
I don't get it.
well, Kanye is also back on Twitter.
Oh,
Everybody
jeez.
loves Kanye.
I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but proceed.
Well, maybe we talked about the fact that Kanye was banned, but he's back now.
Well, he was back a couple weeks ago. But
No, he
anyway,
just got reinstated like yesterday. Again.
he was banned again and then
He was
reinstated.
banned again, I guess.
No wonder
But
it
he's
feels like
back
deja
again.
vu. It's like deja vu.
Yeah.
So,
One of his first tweets was shalom. So he's already off to
uh,
a great start.
what's he gonna do now? Run for president again? Oh no. Are you serious?
Guys, Kanye has announced he's running for president in 2024.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. The Hill is
So
announced.
Trump's
This
running
is a
again.
The
Biden is
Hill
running
article.
again. Why do people keep running again?
I
Like,
don't think we talked about it. Oh yeah, we talked about it in the last episode, but it got deleted. So Donald Trump is also running again,
yeah.
and Joe Biden thinks he's gonna run again.
Well, maybe.
So
He hasn't committed yet. But
Trump or Biden? Oh, Biden hasn't
Biden.
committed yet.
Yeah, Trump has. But Biden hasn't.
Trump and Kanye have committed.
Yeah.
Or well, Kanye's never committed to anything, but Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
I find it funny that Kanye is running for president.
Again.
Yeah, a celebrity is running president.
Well, I mean, we've had actors become president before. Ronald Reagan. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Cough's still really bad.
Yeah, it sounds like that virus you have keeps getting worse.
I know. It's crazy. It's weird. It's like called the conservative cold, I think is what they call it. How's your guys' day going? All right, well,
It's going great. I'm just glad I haven't caught the conservative cold yet.
Yeah. Mitch McConnell. Sorry, guys.
Oh no, it keeps getting worse.
I know, right? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Let's get
Oh
away
my
from
God.
politics for a second so I can
I hope
save
I don't get
myself.
that. Iraq war. Oh my god, it's getting even worse.
Oh
I
my
got it now.
goodness.
It's contagious.
Guys, we gotta move on while we still can. The World Cup has started, and the U.S. has drawn with Wales 1-1. So we're not good enough to beat Wales, I guess. Okay, good talk. Let's move on. Everybody loves soccer in this podcast.
Yeah.
Matt, right now, what country do you think is going to win the World Cup? Go.
Are you kidding me?
What? If either one of you are right, I will buy pizza for everybody on this podcast. if either one of you are right on who wins the World Cup. Aiden, who do you think is going to win?
Utah?
All right, we're accepting Utah as an answer.
Wales.
Wales? Okay. Aiden, this is a country thing. Like, this is an international country event.
I don't know. I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah, I know that's
Can we
the
talk about
point.
football or something like that?
Huh?
Can we talk about football or something like that?
All right, let's talk about football then. Cardinals are playing in Mexico tonight. Mexico City. What do you think about that, Aiden?
Cool.
They're playing the San Francisco 49ers. Who do you think's going to win?
Why are you asking me? That's common sense. It's 49ers.
Okay. Okay. Matt,
I mean,
who do you think's going to win tonight? The Cardinals or the 49ers?
Um, it's a gamble.
It
Think.
is. It is. You have to put money on it right now.
Oh
Your life
man.
is on the line.
yeah, we're gambling
gonna-
like we're in Vegas.
I'm gonna put a dollar on the Cardinals.
Wow.
You know what?
All right, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals
Okay,
just
I'm
so
from
that
Arizona, and I know that the sports in Arizona, they're not exactly desirable.
I'm gonna pick
But-
Arizona just so that Arizona's the majority
Okay.
consensus. I love how Aiden says it's easily the 49ers, yet neither one of us picked the 49ers.
No, I mean the Cardinals suck. Come on, man. And I'm from
I mean,
Arizona.
they're not
I know.
bad. They're 4-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been doing pretty good. I think they're like 2-1 in their last 3 games.
Yeah,
Now
but I mean
that,
they lost. I mean they lost the Super Bowl. Like,
10 years
come
ago.
on. No, more like
It was
13
longer
years.
than that. Yeah, 13 years
Still.
ago. You're still hanging on to that?
Yeah.
Who'd they
Giving
lose
up
to in that
some-
Super Bowl again?
Huh?
Who'd they lose to in that Super Bowl again?
Some team in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Santonio
15
Holmes.
minutes of fame Steelers. That's what it should be called.
Huh?
15 minutes of fame Steelers. That's what it should be called.
Yeah. Well, do you know that in like the mid 1900s, the Steelers and Eagles formed to make one team, and they called it the Steagles.
That's
That sounds like a cereal or something like that.
I'm serious. If you search it up, the Steagles were a thing.
I'm gonna search it up.
Oh my goodness.
Huh.
The Steagles are real.
So how's Steagles
Eagles.
spelled? Is it spelled EE or EA?
Philadelphia,
S-
Pittsburgh Steagles.
Yeah, the Steagle. Steagles. It's Eagles, but with a ST at the beginning.
Hmm.
The Philadelphia and Pittsburgh Steagles. The greatest football team of all time.
Yeah, that was so like 1943. Get with the times, Cole. Oh, I didn't see you were drinking.
Don't
I don't
worry,
mean that.
guys. I'm with the times.
What are your thoughts for 2023?
Me?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a year of. It's gonna be like 19. I'm gonna compare it to 1936. It's gonna be very similar to 1936. Don't ask why I chose 1936, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. We're at that time, Great Depression, dawn of World War II. I think we're on the dawn of World War III, and we had our Great Depression around the corner. So I'm gonna go with we got us. I think we got a world war coming up in the next 3 years, 3 years at least. But it won't. It
Boy,
won't
you're
be
fun to hang out with.
Huh?
Boy, you're fun to hang out with.
It's just
Wow. You asked for my opinion, and I give it to you, and this is what I receive.
It's so cynical. It's like depression, World War. It's like, geez, Cole.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, but can't we put that off till 2025? Come
I
on.
know that's what I said. Within like the next 3 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 2023.
And plus, Biden made his trip to the G27 summit this week and said that
Did he
China
fall
has,
asleep again?
and he said China has no imminent plans of invading Taiwan because China would obviously tell him if they're invading Taiwan.
Ah, so he did fall asleep again. Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
So I think
Did you
I
hear
think
that
this
his granddaughter got married at the White House?
his granddaughter what?
Got married at the White House?
Good for her. I didn't know he. I was gonna. I don't know his granddaughter. So
No, that's too bad.
okay, we can take this part out of the podcast. But did you guys hear about the fact that like how everybody's like posing as different people on Twitter because you could change your name and get the check mark? And
Yeah.
Yeah,
how somebody posed as George Bush and put, "Man, I really miss killing Iraqis."
that's awful.
But
That's
when
just
somebody said, it's like saw that, it's like there's no way you give like a like you'd look
Here,
twice because you think like why the hell would he post that?
Have
What
you
are
seen the
but
clip of him of former President Bush? He was speaking at an event about the war in Ukraine, and he was talking about the unjustified war in Iraq. I mean Ukraine.
oh yeah, I did see. Yeah, I
He
did see that.
admitted
Yeah, I did see that one.
inadvertently. He had inadvertently admitted that Iraq.
What was unjustified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just that's old
man.
news. Are we gonna talk about how there's two check marks on Twitter?
Oh yeah, there's two now. Yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah,
We should name
yeah.
this. We should name this episode of the podcast "Us Making Fun of Twitter for 40 minutes" and then talking about World War II again,
I'm gonna do that.
just because.
We
All
talk
right.
about Twitter for 40 minutes, so you don't have to.
Well, it's only been 20 minutes, so
So we got 20 more minutes. Okay,
yeah, we gotta
cool.
talk about Twitter for another 20 minutes. Did you
Oh,
guys see about the people who posed as insulin companies too?
oh, jeez.
Oh, okay. So Matt probably hasn't heard this one either. So there was a person, so kind of like how somebody posed as George Bush, somebody posed as an insulin company and said, "We're making insulin free for everyone now." And the company's stock went down billions of dollars. Like the company lost billions of dollars because everybody sold their stock.
Oh,
Two of them lost billions of dollars because of it. Oh my goodness. I really shouldn't be laughing, but it's funny that exactly what Elon Musk was trying to prevent is what's happening.
The irony of it all. See? Have
Was
you
that?
seen this meme? It's all like the blue check marks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's basically Twitter nowadays.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. There's been talk of him releasing a new book, How I Wasted a $44 billion.
Huh. I
I don't know if it's real or not, but it'd be funny if it was.
I wonder what that book's about.
Hmm. I think it's
Hmm.
about PayPal.
PayPal? Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Nah. It's definitely about Amazon.
Nah.
No?
Nah, man. It's not about Amazon. It's about Verizon.
Verizon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's about payphone, honestly.
That's the most expensive collect call ever.
Hey, Aiden, you want to talk about payphone for all of us? Should I get payphone?
No.
no.
It's 2022, not 1982.
Sorry guys, remember we're talking about the Steagles over here. I'm behind by a couple years. Don't worry, I'm catching up still.
the Steagles.
The Steagles. We should bring that back, honestly.
You know what we should bring back?
Oh boy. What should we bring back?
I don't know. I mean, we could bring back rotary phones while we're at it, because we're going 1940s, you know?
Yeah, might as well put like landmine. Oh, what's it? Not landmines. Landlines.
Landline.
One sec,
Yeah,
kids. Let me go get the landmine.
yeah. Grandma and Grandpa still have their landmine. Wow, they must be rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, kids, get down.
Avalanche.
We're
Oh
laughing
wait,
at
it's
the
just someone
worst
calling.
jokes ever.
Yeah, we're terrible.
We're terrible people, honestly.
Well, Matt's not terrible.
Yeah, Matt's just sitting there in silence.
You know
He
what I
doesn't.
want to see?
What?
I want to see someone make a mock account of Bill Clinton.
Oh no. No. Somebody make a mock account of Richard Nixon.
Oh,
I am a criminal.
I am definitely a crook.
I am not a crook. I did have sexual relations with that girl. Where else are you gonna announce it?
Monica Lewinsky.
Why announce it on the press when you can just announce it on Twitter?
Yeah, it'll make the news even quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be on CNN in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think any of the news, like major companies, said anything when they saw that somebody was posing as George Bush? Do you think like the Democrat bias news were all over it? Like, look at this! Look at this terrible
Oh,
person here.
they moved on. He was so 2005, Cole. Get with the times.
Sorry, I'm still catching up.
How's that new iPod Shuffle there, Bal? Is it working great?
I still have my iPod.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I don't use it, but I
Are
still
you still
have it.
running Windows XP? Installing Service Pack 2?
No, I actually have Windows 11. Thank you very much.
Oh man, that's a huge downgrade from 98, man.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I know it's a
Hey, do you
huge
have your
downgrade.
Nokia? Or no, did you get the new Razor, the Moto Razor?
I got my new Nokia the other day.
Ooh, does it have Snake?
Yeah, of course it has Snake.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Colorado Springs. Aiden, do you have any news on what happened there for the viewers?
I gotta get my notes. Oh man.
Do do
Hold
do do
on.
do do do
Hold on.
do do do
I'm
do
taking-
do 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 do.
I am a journalist.
Yes, we can quote Aiden legally.
So last night there was a shooting in Colorado Springs at LGBT nightclub. It's believed that the shooting may have been hate terrorism, domestic hate terrorism. Now, some reports are saying that I think they're still trying to find as we speak. He once threatened to blow his mom's house to holy hell.
Definitely a guy with some mental issues.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
yeah. His name is what's his name? Lee Anderson Lee Altridge, and he's 21 years old.
So has he been apprehended yet? I assume. I assume he has. If
Um,
they know his name.
I don't think he has.
Oh.
To my
Do they have any idea, like
Bad timing. Did
On
you
his
hear my
Twitter.
dryer? Or
What?
No.
did you hear my dryer?
Yeah.
I went as soon as I said he has been apprehended.
Wrong.
Well, has he? Do they have any idea of, like, the whereabouts of this person? Like, what? Any leads? I'm sure they have something, but
Don't know his name. That's the lead.
true. Someone's gonna turn him in.
Maybe.
Do they have a picture of him?
I think so. I gotta pull it up here in a minute. But I'm still reading this. So just before midnight, he walked into Club Q, LGBTQ club. It's called Club Q. Um, he was charged on Monday with 5 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of bias-motivated crimes causing bodily injury. He was subdued and held down by at least two heroic people inside the club until officers arrived and took him. Yeah, so he has been apprehended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're not sure that the Altridge they arrested is the same person that got arrested over the bomb threat. But they do say that both men have a identical birth date. So
So it's like the
and
same person.
something worth noting, not to get political or anything, but his
Go ahead.
grandfather is Randy Vopel. He was a Republican in Southern California who lost his state assembly seat earlier this year after he was primaried by a more moderate female candidate. And yeah, so
Hmm.
I don't know.
Do you have any, like? Is there any context to what motivated this person to shoot up or to
Well, he was
shoot up a
charged as a
nightclub?
bias. It was charged as a bias, so like it was
My
charged
guess would
as a
be it's
hate
a hate
crime.
crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm curious about is kind of like the background to that, to like or that. What is the source to that hate? And I'm thinking a lot about, like, white supremacist groups.
I don't think
Because
he's
I
one of
know.
those. I don't know. Maybe
Hmm?
he is, but
I
I
found it.
haven't heard that he's
It's
one of
There's a
extra.
good chance. Well, he maybe not is or not, but I know that from what I've heard about, like, those type of groups is that they don't. It's not those, like, we hear, like, those what so-called neo Nazis. They don't just hate
Yeah,
Jewish people. They hate, like, everyone who isn't white or
white,
straight.
white, straight.
They hate
Yeah.
yeah,
everyone.
yeah,
So that's a good chance this guy could be a part of that. And, like, there was other hate crimes that involved more of, like, of a race of races, but it falls into that same, like, pattern.
yeah. And I found a text thread from the day of the bomb threat. Um, I guess this was someone texting someone, "Hey, don't come home. There's a bomb threat going on. Um, be safe. Don't come here for a few. I need to make sure I'm not coming here for my son. Um, it's imperative you don't come home." And the person wrote back, "It's completely unacceptable, Laura. My house is not a hideout. I apologize. The police SWAT team will be here. Just so yeah, pretty big deal." Um,
Huh.
I don't know if they let him out after that. This was last year, so
Oh, this is the same guy who
maybe,
is it possible? Okay.
maybe they're not sure if they're the same guy, but it sounds like they have the same name, same birth date.
Hmm. Okay, so it's a possibility.
Yeah. Now I think his mom posted to like a group or something like that on a
Did,
Facebook group or something like that, and she was like, "Hey,
Facebook group.
does anyone have like a trauma PTSD therapist that can help my 21-year-old son that you know is he LDS? He is but not completely active. Yes. So this is kind of the article I have here is like a play-by-play of what happened.
Like a timeline almost.
Yeah, it starts in June of 2021, and then it works its way up till today. So,
Was this bomb threat that he possibly made? It's not proven that he was him, but was it what? Where was it directed at?
I think it was his mom's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was last year, and then recently was the shootout at the gay LGBTQ nightclub.
Hmm.
Someone just texted me.
Well, we wanna wait, try some fun other
Probably some lighter
yeah
hearted.
some lighter
Yeah,
news.
this is kind of cynical.
Yeah,
Elon Musk has said that he's
very
not
good.
firing anybody else yet. I guess that's good news.
Keyword yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll just be like Sesame Street. Hey kids, what's the word of the day?
Fire.
Terminate. Wow, that's a big word. What does it mean?
You're terminated.
Here's
It's
your
like
severance
Arnold
package.
Schwarzenegger shows up. You're
These
terminated.
are here's your severance package, Elmo.
Okay. I found this on the web for here's your severance package, Elmo. Check it out.
Did you hear the Siri go off?
Yeah,
It
I
was like,
did.
here's
I
your
did
severance
hear that. And I thought that was like my computer or something. I was gonna say what? Okay, here's what I found for Elmo burning. All right, well let's move on to our final subject of the day: the beginning of World War II. Now that we're all very educated on that topic, especially after last week.
technical difficulties, as
Yeah.
many people may be aware. Someone's
Yeah.
Technical
microphone was turned
difficulties.
off full.
That
You know,
was yeah. To our viewers, that was the reason. Well, we told you this, but that was the reason why we uh we posted a week late. We had some difficult technical difficulties last Tuesday. We
Quite the
couldn't
tongue
post it.
twister.
I know. I have those sometimes. That happens sometimes.
I wonder
Quite
what
Yeah.
happened
annoying.
on Tuesday. I guess the viewers will never know.
Oh, I can totally tell them what happened and why.
No,
Yeah, we,
I think it's good. I think we leave it at that.
No, I think they want to know. I think they
I
should
don't think
know.
they do.
I mean, we should
I
them.
don't think it's any of their business. You know.
We do.
I think we're good at that. I mean, we got to move on to World War II. Let's go. Matt, you want to explain the beginning of World War II and what caused it?
So, um, so the beginning. This goes back to our kind of like our last episode when we talked about World War One and kind of the what set up what in the culmination to the rise of the Nazis in the Second World War. Uh, the Treaty of I might reiterate what we talked about, but the Treaty of Versailles was an armistice that ended the First World War, and it large and majority of it there was tons of like specifics within the treaty that really damaged Germany militarily and economically. Um, they had to pay huge amounts of reparations, which left them in debt, and then following that was inflation. So Germany was put in a really bad, desperate situation, and in that and also came the rise of the Great Depression, which kind of added on to that economic downfall for Germany, and so the German people were desperate and looking for change and something or someone that would kind of bring them out of this recession, and that unfortunately there was, and there was that was unfortunately Hitler, but there was also not just um Hitler that had like that people went to for kind of comfort and promise for change and for for German to defend itself. There was like I think there was a bunch of like cults and stuff like that. But the biggest one was was Hitler and the Nazis, and that's kind of and Hitler utilized that desperation in the public in the German public to rise to chancellor, and which then he used within that position to get so he could have ultimate power
Absolute
and
power.
absolute power,
Unchallenged power.
unchallenged power. Which in let me think, and so that that and then once Hitler had power, he would then had full capability into looking abroad or not just in the domestic affairs of Germany and into like into expansion, which was his part of his I think his final solution, I believe.
No.
And no,
No, his
something about
final solution was the building of what's it called? Concentration camps. That was the idea behind the final solution.
but I know his big goal was to like gain huge like all of Europe or the majority of Europe and be like the dominating power in the world.
Well, yeah,
That
but
was
that's not
that
what the
was
final solution was. That was something different.
okay.
The final solution refers to the concentration camps because that's the first solution. Remember, I talked about last week was sending all the Jewish people to Madagascar, but
Yeah.
Madagascar was kind of like, "Hey, you can't do that, buddy." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm angry now." Okay, we can cut that out, but basically that's what he did.
Yeah. He got it's
He was
yeah,
upset that
yeah.
France said no to him sending all of the Jewish people to Madagascar, which he thought was realistic for some reason.
Why was it France's
Did France
why
own
was it say
Madagascar? Let me double check. I thought France owned Madagascar at that point.
yeah, but genocide wasn't like Hitler's
Original
like
intent.
initial plan. He wanted to remove the Jewish people out of Germany, but that even with intimidation and fear, and really making lives of Jewish people exceedingly difficult. But not everyone had that. It didn't work, so he went to genocide.
Let's see, African colonization. You can keep going while I look. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Okay. So when Germany's Hitler's ideas for like expansion is he wanted to unite the or his excuse was that he wanted to unite all of the German people, and that in for example is annexation of Austria, which really did not it was kind of Austria was kind of forced to, but there wasn't much like uh no god I'm trying to remember they didn't fight back essentially, just kind of let it happen. Even like the German soldiers marching into Austria are even welcomed by the Austrian people. And then eventually it was
Not
the
by the Austrian people, by the German people, the people who were ethnically German, because that was Hitler's excuse of going to Germany. Was that he
yeah.
was saving the Germans. So
Oh, you're good. And well, Austria is Austrian
mostly
is
German.
a is a like a Germanic language, and so it falls under that category. So
Or is
he,
Germany an Austrian
yeah,
language?
yeah, it
The
is.
real questions
They are
we should
both
be
separate
asking.
language. What?
I said the real questions we should be asking in this world.
They're both separate languages, but they have their similarities in like the categories within the Germanic languages. But then there was like the issue with like Czechoslovakia. Germany threatened to invade Czechoslovakia, but then with the Munich
Madagascar is
Agreement,
French. I found it.
French.
Madagascar,
Okay,
French.
yeah. And then they agreed upon like what was it? Neville Chamberlain.
But this is but I'm looking at after 1884, the meeting in Berlin, the Berlin Conference, because I couldn't find anything about post World War II Africa. I mean, I can look, but so just give me I'll catch up with you guys.
So then
Oh, found it.
Germany, Hitler. Oh,
French. French until 1960 when they get their independence.
oh, okay. Yeah, because kind of like that. Yeah, that post World War II was kind of this era of decolonization within Africa.
Right.
It did.
The French fight a civil war in Algeria, and then once they lose the war in Algeria, they don't want to fight another one. So,
Yeah.
all right, but back to World War II. You're talking about Austria. I think we already talked
Yeah.
about the launch list. We got to Poland at the end of the second episode.
Did we?
Yeah, we.
I can't even remember.
Yeah,
That was
we
a
already
while
talked
ago.
about Czechia.
Okay.
So we're on the invasion of Poland.
Okay. So yeah, they invade. Germany invades Poland. At, and Poland was allied with the Allied powers, such as France and Great Britain. Poland
That was it, right? It was just France and
What?
Great Britain, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't
Because
remember
the Soviets are by themselves and America has a
Mhm.
joint. Maybe America's involved, but I don't think they're like involved.
No, yeah, the
If
United
they're
States
in, they're like barely in.
at that time, the United States was like entirely ever since the like George Washington, they've um they were totally isolationist. Well, not totally, but they really did not were not fond of getting involved in European affairs. So
Well,
they didn't.
what about the Spanish-American War, though?
Was
What
it
about the War of 1812?
that was? Let me think.
It's when we fought Britain and the White House was burned.
That was a that was a weird. We talked about that in my U.S. history class. I think it was U.S. was they didn't want to get involved in the affairs of like Great Britain and France, but they were kind of being forced to.
No.
And yeah, there was kind of a drama fest, but that's stop.
It's like the fact that they never colonized any land in Africa.
Yeah,
But they were there at the meeting, the Berlin Conference. They were there. They just didn't take anything. I mean, some people consider Liberia to be an American colony, but not many.
was the United States there as like a mediator? I don't understand.
Yeah, they were
like,
kind of there as a mediator. It was like the only slave-free African colony. It's why, if you look up the Liberian flag, it's very similar to the United States flag.
Huh.
It's red and white stripes with like 1 star instead of 50. So
It's almost like they went copy and paste. Yeah, we'll just get rid of 49 of the stars.
49? Who needs 50 when you can have one? One
Star, superior. Yeah.
one big one. Big
one.
big.
Yeah, it's
okay, so Poland is allied with Great Britain and France. When Germany invades, both powers don't come to Poland's aid, and Poland was reliant on that, so they lose.
And also Poland's invaded on both the east and the western border.
Yeah, and that's I can't forget about that. Like At that
They're invaded by the
Germany
Soviets and the
and the
Germans.
Soviet Union had a short-lived alliance. It was a non-aggression pact, and
Not really an
they both
alliance, because they didn't like
they
each other.
it was a short-lived non-aggression pact. They invaded Poland on both sides. Poland was crushed. They couldn't. It was a inevitable loss for the Polish people. And what would follow for like I don't know how long, quite a few, like months, was the Phony War, and
Oh, the phony war, yeah. So
yeah,
France declares on and Germany declares on France, but nothing happens for like 6 months.
yeah, but
There's
and
absolutely nothing, and then out of nowhere, Germany just comes storming in and
mhm.
battle
And
Dunkirk, or well, no, Dunkirk doesn't happen yet, but they take over France, like almost
yeah,
completely. They reach
and
Paris
wasn't
easily.
and didn't Germany like invade Norway? During
Yes. So before all of this, Germany launches a blitzkrieg tactics on Yugoslavia, Denmark, and Norway. And the goal isn't for them to take the land, but it's to prevent the Allies from getting into the land. They can't land there. They can't get the help from Norway. So they're not annexed by Germany, but they're occupied by Germany. And also, there's the Italian wars in Africa going on. The war in Ethiopia that was in 1936 too, and Japan. Right? I don't know if they've invaded the Chinese yet, but if not, they're getting ready to declare war on China at this time.
Where does Japan stand in all of this?
Japan's on the side of Germany and Italy. They're fascist.
yeah,
What? And this is like late 1930s, early
Uh,
1940s.
yeah, 1939, 1940. 1940s when the phony war happens and Germany invades Norway and Denmark. So we're in 1940. Uh, Spanish Civil War is ending too, I think, if it hasn't already ended. So Spain is now fascist too, but Spain's not really
yeah,
going to get involved in World War II. I
no,
mean, maybe they'll send a few like helpers, but Francisco Franco doesn't want to get involved
Yeah.
because he's an absolute Chad. Um, let's see. What else is going
and
on? This is before Pearl Harbor. No, yeah, Japan probably has declared war on China in 1940, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah,
so they'll invade the the eastern parts of China, the coast.
yeah, Manchuria, I believe it starts. Wait, no, wait. They occupy Manchuria, I believe. There was but then it gets southern, and then they invade southern China.
Well,
But
they take over because China hasn't been unified yet. There's a bunch of
yeah,
warlords, as they're considered, in like different regions. They unite together temporarily to fight against the Japanese, but it's not
yeah.
really the same. Uh, it's like the
Well, I
one
thought,
time that Taiwan and China actually agreed with each other.
yeah, and what is I found interesting, and I talked about this in my last year's World Studies class. Um, well, we talked about it. The class talked about it, not just me. Um, they it was a prior to the war with Japan, there was like a civil war between the communists and the nationalists.
No, it was not the nationalists.
Yes. What was the faction?
The Kuomintang, I think it was.
Um,
Tong. It's the Democrats.
Yeah,
The
the Democratic. Um,
side. Yeah.
yeah,
That are they Mao leads the Great March, and they force the Democrats to Taiwan to live out the
yeah,
rest of their days.
yeah. That was so like
But that's in the
during when Japan
50s.
invaded. Yeah,
So
when
that's
Japan invaded, they united temporarily to fight against Japan,
the
which they
Chinese
succeed.
United Front. The Chinese
Yeah,
United Front. So
and after the war, after the World War II, they kind of go back to fighting each other, and the Communist Party pushes Democratic Party or whatever out of China and into Taiwan. I read a book about like the Korean War and kind of like the Chinese Civil War is within like the Chinese military. There was this division still between like Chinese and um like communists and Democrats and whatever. You're going to go to, and after the war, are you going to go to China or Taiwan? Um, it's pretty scary,
Yeah.
but
Well, we
that's
still see the issue to this day. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I
I
still
mean,
see it today.
Xi Jinping has stated China has no imminent plans to invade Taiwan. But the funny part is what I find funny is that everybody's making a big deal out of that, like he's a nice guy now. But why would he say that he has plans to invade Taiwan?
Oh, it's true.
Why would he? Why would he go on to U.S. news and to Joe Biden and say, I'm gonna invade Taiwan, guys. You know, I'm just gonna. I'll do it tomorrow, though. I don't feel like doing it today. You know,
Yeah, and
like
right now would probably not saying that I support like China and its ambitions to take Taiwan, but it's probably would be a
time.
I with the crisis in Ukraine. That'd be like I think that'd be
I
a
disagree.
distraction against
Because the China, since they're a communist government, their factories are owned by the country, by the state, right?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
if the U.S. were to put sanctions on them, it would hit a lot harder than it's hitting Russia.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you don't see it in Russia, but Russia's taking a really big hit when it comes to their to sanctions, and also with all of the U.S. involvement, the fact that Australia, Japan, and U.S. a couple months ago signed an agreement saying if China makes any sort of war actions, they'll team up against them. Now's not a good time to that would start World War III because the U.S., Japan, Taiwan, and Australia all have an agreement that they would defend Taiwan from such actions. So, I will have to disagree when you say it's a good time, and also with the depression that's like right around the corner.
I see in like the point of view of the United States with the economic crisis that's going on. I see that it would it's very tough on everyone. So it kind of be trying to find the words. Sorry.
It's all right.
Say, the United States is connected to China economically with like the trade, and so if the United States was to sanction China, that would not just affect China but also the United States.
But I think the United States would be willing to do that. I
Yeah.
think they'd be willing to take the hit to take down China. I mean, Joe Biden's already trying to make more U.S. products, like trying to get the U.S. to produce its own items. He's trying, and he's doing that more. But I don't know. I see this as a bad time. But that's kind of back to the original topic of World War II. So the year is 1940, right? That's where we're at. Germany has invaded France. They've taken all of France at this point. They've taken Germany and Norway. Japan is invading China. They've taken a bunch of tiny islands in the Pacific. And Japan wants to take over the Philippines, which is at this point a U.S. monitored area. It's like a colony, but not really a colony in U.S. terms.
So it's not like Guam or Puerto Rico or anything.
No, it's like Guam or Puerto Rico.
Oh,
it's a military base. It is.
oh, but
Sorry
it's not
for
like a
avoiding.
U.S. territory or anything, right?
It is a U.S. territory at this time.
Okay.
Like it's heavily guarded by the U.S. They have military there, but um, Japan really wants the Philippines. So they decide that they want to. The best way that they can do that is they're going to bomb the closest and most strongest naval base to of the United States, so that they can't get there. Which at this time was in 1941 was the bombing of Pearl Harbor. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess I can talk about that a little bit because I
all
got
right.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we all know the attack on Pearl Harbor for the U.S. was kind of a surprise military strike. It happened at around 7:48 a.m. on December 7th, 1941. That's the date, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And they attacked. They the the base was attacked by 353 Imperial Japanese aircraft. Some of them included torpedo bombers, fighter jets, level diver bombs, and they came in two waves. The first wave was led by Commander Michio Fushida, and the second one was commanded by Lieutenant Commander Shimazaki. Correct me if I'm pronouncing those names wrong, but
I didn't even know I don't even know the names, so I can't.
Yeah, me neither. I'm sure you got it right though.
okay.
You sound like you know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. So
Yeah, it's not your. Yeah, you pronounced them
he
pretty
sounds
well.
like he
So I'm
knows what he's
sure.
talking about. So he knows what he's talking
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I have
Yeah.
no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like half asleep. Anyway. So they but seriously though. So oh I just hit my light. Um so they attacked the USS California, the USS Maryland, the USS Oklahoma, the USS Tennessee, the USS West Virginia, the USS Arizona, the USS Nevada, the USS Pennsylvania,
about. Weird.
Fort Island Naval Air
I
Station.
sense a correlation between all those names. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And Hecum failed, if that's how you're saying. They didn't attack the oil storage tanks or the sink pack headquarters building or the submarine base or the naval yard, but they did manage to still destroy at least 180 U.S. aircraft, and they killed 2,403 Americans, and about 1,170 others were wounded in the attack. Um, so that was kind of what happened on the day of Pearl Harbor. Shortly after, Congress voted to go to World War II, and that's how the U.S. got involved. So,
And what was kind of made like the attack, in my opinion, the attack for Japan futile was that they only attacked the ships, not like the repair stations, which allowed the United States to repair itself, or was only temporarily like um crippled their navy. They were able to repair a lot quicker than the repair stations had been destroyed if they had been destroyed. But yeah,
mhm. Yeah.
so
Huh.
um
So,
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, I think
that
that's a good stopping point. Unless you have something you guys want to add.
well, I think we should go back. I think so. What that was with the attack on Pearl Harbor. That's like said that was in like December 7th, 1941. Like kind of when the United States got involved. But like a year, um,
Because I
but
was
like
thinking
let's
we
go
could
back.
stop. I was thinking we could stop here and then go to Barbarossa, but then the next one. But if you have something you want to add from before, then I'm game. Or after.
Oh, I think we should. I don't want to skip the invasion of France. Um,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go
so
that then.
so
My
Germany.
apologies.
No, you're good. You're good, Cole. Like we talked about before, occupy invaded both Denmark, Norway, and you said Yugoslavia too, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird situation though. It was I mean, they didn't exactly own Yugoslavia, nor did they occupy it, but they had very good control over that region.
Uh, yeah. Then they had like
It's
they
kind of
kind of
weird.
like forced them within their sphere of influence, pretty much, or
Yeah,
kind of.
because
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
once we get past World War II, Yugoslavia is really weird when it comes to what everybody else does. Like they're a part of the West Bloc, but yet they're communist. You know,
And then and then eventually, when did they like break up into different of those different Slavic?
2006.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yugoslavia existed. Oh wow, I didn't even know.
Yeah, they break up after Tito dies, which is in the early 2000s, like 2004, 2005, and then like a year later it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we'll get into a later episode, but Tito, he's a really fascinating guy. He's a communist dictator, but he's not a brutal one. Like he doesn't kill everybody. And he's able to keep all of these different ethnicities and nationalities together in one country without any conflict. And then as soon as he dies, it all goes to hell. So
That's not, you don't
It's like
find
if
those type of people often.
yeah, it's like if Stalin were to die and then Soviet Union were to immediately collapse, but it didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Because Stalin wasn't really that
Yeah.
nice of a guy, but
What are you
well,
talking
yeah,
about?
let's
He was an amazing person. Okay.
um
Just like Mussolini.
just
Oh
like
yeah,
music.
just like Matt and Mussolini.
Oh god. So what ends the phony war is Great Britain, and France see a or like intersected plan for that Germany potential or was not allegedly, but according to the plans, was going to go through Belgium and into France, just like the First World War, like the Schlieffen plan. But actually, that was a Schleif, I don't know.
Who cares?
They, but actually, that was that was a to divert, no,
Diversion.
diversion,
Diversion.
diversion, and instead they were gonna go push through the Ardennes and into France. So it's kind of like Germany kind of psyched the Allies, and following that, Germany would use, like we talked about, Blitzkrieg, which is using which is called Lightning War in English, and it's to use massive amounts of infantry, tanks, uh, planes, stuff like at a fast rate to overwhelm the enemy. And so that's what they did, and in addition to that, France was not able to combat that speed because their communication was not up to date. So Germany was able to easily push France back and take Paris and conquer France overall and occupy them. What else? I guess I was thinking of something else. God, forgot it. Oh yeah. They what Germany used to kind of power that speed was this drug. I can't remember the name of it, but it made like the soldiers feel like superhuman, like
Steroids.
superhuman. Pretty much, it's very similar to that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Blitzkrieg. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. I want to bring up one more thing real quick. It's not history related, but it's a headline that just came in about 15 minutes ago as of this recording. Have you guys heard about Jay Leno?
Yes.
He was he was hospitalized because of burn marks on his face. He was working on one of his cars in it.
Yeah.
Well, about 15 minutes ago, he was released from the hospital, and this is how he looks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
He just he doesn't look any like different. I've never seen him before, but he really did. Like if I saw him on the street, be like, you know,
yeah, here I can pull up
pretty
a
good.
Yeah, here. This is one of his younger. Actually, no, it's one of his more recent photos. This is what he used to look like.
Mm. I can see. Yeah, I recognize a little bit of diff. I recognize the diff, but
Yeah,
still, it doesn't look too bad.
yeah, could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been way worse. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to give everybody an update real quick before we end our episode here this evening. So
All right,
Yeah.
well, I think this is a good stop.
Good time.
Then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully
next week
we
we'll
got
talk,
all the audio.
Yeah. Next week we'll talk about Operation Barbarossa and the true American involvement with the Operation Torch, which is the North African campaign, and the Europe First policy, which is basically we're gonna take down Hitler first, and then we'll deal with Japan. So, but thank you guys for watching. I don't know, anything you guys want to add at the end?
No,
No.
that's it.
Thank you guys for
See you next
watching. I hope
week.
you enjoyed.